So today guys, I'm doing another Victorinox Swiss Army knife review. You're going to get a little bit of background noise because I'm at a motorbike festival. It's the Adventure Bike Riders Festival in the UK, and there are thousands of people. But I did say that I do most of my reviews in the field, and this is literally in the field. So what we have is the box, which is the nice little basic silver box, nice quality, solid. And the knife that we're going to review today is actually named on the end, and it's called the Climber Red. And it's a 91mm knife. It's their medium range, but 91mm. Swiss manufactured, high quality. The recommended retail price of this is £33. I paid £18.77. It's 2024 prices. So it's a 3-layer knife, and you can see the layers here on the back of the knife. And it has these beautiful Celador scales. And it is a thing of beauty. Something I haven't mentioned before is that the Victorinox logo, that's inlaid into the Celador. So the quality of these knives at the price is just so good. It has tools to the front and to the back of the knife. And as mentioned, we got a 91mm length. We've got 18mm in height and 26mm wide. The knife weighs 82 grams and it has 14 functions. And this comes in a variety of colours, which if you go online you'll be able to find what the colours are. But this is the basic red Celador. So if we start with the scales, and the first of the functions with this knife, commonly known as tools, but they call it function, is this key ring. So that's the first one. And then you have the tweezers on the front of the knife. These tweezers, you've seen them before, you'll see them again. They're very common for most of the Victorinox knives. And on the back, you get the toothpick. So if you look to the back of the knife, we have a corkscrew. If I just turn that around, and we'll just get that corkscrew out. So the corkscrew, whilst most people wouldn't use a corkscrew nowadays, you might occasionally, but also you can use this corkscrew to put some tools in or some fire starters. Also, in a lot of these Celador scales, and I'm not so sure we can pick up here, but there's a little pinhole just there, and that's for putting a pin in, which again is something that might be useful to you, and certainly gives it additional function. You also have on this Climber a multi-purpose hook. Now it's commonly referred to as a parcel hook, and that's what it was designed for when it was first introduced. So people could carry bundles of newspapers or anything that was tied up with string, which most packages would have been before we had tape and other means to wrap our parcels. However, Victorinox now call this a multi-purpose hook. So the third item on the rear of the knife is a reamer. Oops, if I can get it out. So this is a reamer. It's a punch to punch through materials, and the reamer is to make a little hole in whatever you want to make a hole in. I've actually used this for a couple of occasions, not this knife, but on a different Victorinox knife. One was to create some holes to put some hooks in for some plants that were growing up a trellis. And the other thing I did was I wanted to create a hole to put a little press stud in some motorcycle trousers that the Velcro had just packed up, stopped working. So it has its uses. And also it's got a sewing hole. So that little hole there allows you to put thread through so that you can stitch things, even down to leather, if you so wish. So turning to the front of the knife, we have the opening layer, which is very common with most Victorinox knives. And here we have the, I'm going to turn it around so you can see better. We have the can opener, and you can see the little hook there. There are other videos where I've demonstrated how this works with opening a can on a couple of occasions. I'm not going to do it here because I don't have a can with me and I'm in a camping field. It also has a 3mm flat-headed screwdriver at the top there. I'll just shut that one up with its nice satisfying click. And then on the other side, you've got a multi-tool that actually half locks in place with a 6mm screwdriver head on the top there, and it locks in place so you can get some leverage if you're using that as a screwdriver. So that's a half lock, and it won't move unless you physically pull it down or push it the other way. So you've got the 6mm flathead screwdriver, you've got the bottle opener, and that works very effectively. But again, I have no beer with me tonight because there's plenty of beer on the camping field. There's beer tents, so I've no bottles of beer. But it works very effectively, this, and I've used it with another couple of knives that I have used from Victorinox. And the final thing here is this little wire stripper, and I've used that on the Bantam, which is a smaller multi-tool, but it has the wire stripper and it's very, very good, very effective. And none of these you would, if you're in your garage, if you're at home, you'd probably use your own tools that you've got. But out in the field, while you're motorcycling, camping, whatever you're doing, or even just wandering around in the garden, some of these tools might well come in handy for you. So you could also use this to open cans, like cans of paint, or I had a can of grease I needed to open. I used one of these. Anything that's not too heavy duty, you could use that end to leverage open a tin lid. And if you can see, I'm not so sure you can see, but there's a slight bevel and a slight angle from top to bottom, which allows you to use it to leverage. So that's the opening layer, the first layer. And then in the second layer on this Victorinox knife is something that everybody raves about and everybody loves, and that is a pair of scissors. So this is the 91mm scissors, or version anyway, for the 91mm knife, and these are very, very effective. Yeah, so these are renowned, these scissors, and some people won't buy a Victorinox knife without having scissors. The springs are replaceable, but they seem to work very efficiently, and the knife is very sharp. I can't demonstrate because I'm in the field, literally. Now we could get some grass though, couldn't we? Let's get some grass. Well, there you go. Demonstrated with the grass. Yeah, they're very good. So that has the scissors in the middle layer. Yeah. So then we go to the third layer, which is this layer. And what we have here is the main blade. That's the stainless steel fine cut edge blade. They come out of the box razor sharp, absolutely razor sharp. The blade length is 60 millimeters from the tang to the tip. So as a non-locking blade and one that's less than 3 inches, that's a UK legal carry. And the other item on the third layer is a smaller blade, built to the same quality, the same sharpness, but this is handy for doing smaller tasks. And if you want to keep your main blade razor sharp all the time, or more of the time I should say, you could use this for some of the package opening or other things that you want to do that's just needs a quick knife to do it. The blade length on this one from the tang to the point is 37 millimeter. So the cutting edge is 37 millimeter. Non-locking like the main blade. So what you get with these Victorinox Swiss Army knives is a lifetime warranty against manufacturer defect. The spares available for it, such as the, well, in fact, every part of that knife can be replaced. Every single item can be replaced. The thing you're most likely to replace with this particular knife is the scissor spring. But you can get them on Amazon, you can buy them anywhere, and they're pretty cheap. As we've seen with the other Swiss Army knives that we looked at, the quality is just so good. There's no imperfections, everything is fitted nice and tightly, everything fits into place. They managed to put all these multi-tools into that size, manufactured to high quality, high standards. The other thing about these Victorinox Swiss Army knives is that they're internationally recognised. Everybody knows what that is. Just lay it on a table and somebody would know what it is. Most people would anyway. So it's a more accepted knife than you'd find for other knives that you may buy or I possess as well. So that's your Victorinox Climber Swiss Army knife. Beautiful little thing, this. I'm looking forward to using this. And these can be modified. They can be modified quite a lot, actually. And this one is going to be modified. So this will be probably the last time you see it with the red Celador scales. Next time you see this particular knife, I'll have done some modifications to it. And it'll be interesting to see what you think about those modifications. But the beauty is you can tailor make these how you want, using multiple different scale replacements. From the ABS replacements to titanium to wood. There's lots of different little tools that you can add to these. And I'll be creating a video showing the modification of this particular knife. So guys, thanks for watching that, and I hope you sort of enjoy these little reviews of the Victorinox Swiss Army knives. Thanks guys. I'm going to go to the beer tent now though. Sun's still shining, but I'm ready for a beer.